Hello and welcome to one and all tuning in this evening. We are back with PSF1, the F3 division for Season 10, a new game, a new season. One thing that hasn't changed though is the commentary team. Dougie is still with me. Hello Dougie, welcome to the race this evening.
Hello, welcome to Season 10, unbelievable PSF1, the first race in Silverstone. Yeah, on the new game of F1 2018, hopefully this game should be pretty good for the racing and see how people are going. It's complete unknown, even though they're complete new cars. The track feels similar. We'll see how everything goes and plays out. At the moment, Ozan Ollie is on pole in 2070, and yeah, should be very, very interesting racing indeed.
Yeah, it was 27-0. It'd be the F1 guys. I think would be closer towards the 26 zeros, but it's still a decent time nonetheless. Of course, short qualifying now, they've changed it back to the old format where it was 18 minutes and then they changed it to 12 last year, and it's now back to 18 minutes. As far as I know, with F1 we are going to be running short qualifying as well, so there will not be full quali in F1. That's still going to be short as well. Anything else? New guys as well. So we've got only 14 unfortunately, although Shane will be joining us in qualifying. I'm not sure if he already has or not, but he had an internet issue just before the lobby started, so he will be joining us for the race. New names then, we've got FTRL Aaron, who I believe is new. I'm pretty sure he didn't race the last season. Z Gallego as well, he's new. Kingham JJ as well, who I believe might have been in PSF1 before. Don't necessarily take my word for it on that one though. Mini, of course, rejoining, was in F1, slipped down to F2, then left the league, is now rejoined and is F3. I would be expect to seeing him up there. And VG Seb as well, who I think is Voltec Seb from last season, so he was here. Ozone Ollie is Ollie Flavel, who I'm not sure is going to be a permanent driver at the moment, but he is just a reserve driver for now and he will be racing this evening. Everyone else I'm pretty sure you'd be fairly familiar with, likes of Bendal's come back down from F2 after getting promoted, as we see Zegalego taking an interesting line through Chapel. But yeah, everyone else pretty much the same as last season regarding everyone else. So yeah, it'd be an interesting grid. I reckon there'll be quite a large divide I would expect though between the top 5 and everyone else I would expect.
Yeah, looking at the new people, we'll see how fast they go. Sometimes when you have new people, they might be faster than the people that we expect it to be, so always keep an eye out for those. At the moment, it's looking pretty box standard. The normal, like usuals, like Manuel Hamilton, KMJJ, AG Seb, second, third, fourth, only a couple half second down. I'm pretty sure they'll improve those times until Ozan Ollie, time of 27-0. Still 10 minutes to go, so I feel like people will probably take a little rest and then come back out in about 6 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, of course, the pit lane is quite slow here, so when you actually come out you do actually have to give yourself about 45 seconds to a minute depending on where you are in that pit lane, because it is so slow. And obviously that affects strategy in the race as well, because you've got a track which is 26 laps, is a short-ish lap, is what 130s in the race. And a pit stop here is around 40 seconds, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it does really affect you, not just in qualifying, but in the race as well.
Yeah, exactly. Pit stop lost time is actually so vital around here that it almost overshadows everything else. But if you can be able to get the perfect strategy call undercut, it's pretty key here as well. You should be able to find the time that you need, despite the pit stop loss. To be able to get ahead of your opponent in this case. So it'll be interesting to see what the strategies they'll do. We were thinking it'd probably be we'd put on lap 10 and then hit on to mediums and to the end, but then also safety car is on as well, factor as well, and that also could help out people who aren't on the pace as well. So yeah, that's another factor as well. I failed to mention at the beginning of the stream. Safety car is working this year, so that will spice things up a little bit. And hopefully, although we don't want to see less than like 14 finishes really, but unfortunately we may end up with that, and we may get the safety car out. Hopefully we do get the safety car. Hopefully no one retires, because I have seen it come out for damage, for debris, for cars spinning as well. So you never know. We might get a VSC or even a cheeky full course safety car. So yeah, we'll eagerly anticipating that, and yeah, I'm pretty sure the drivers that are slightly further down towards the back will be hoping for a little bit of fortune as well this evening. Yeah, exactly, and Because that's another thing. If people do pit, because of the pit stop loss, people may not, if they have an advantage, they may not pit. But then it's always a good thing to pit. So it depends on the person's situation at the time, obviously, and we'll see. But at the moment, looks like Ozanami's sticking out to pole, still 1/10 now between Manuel Hamlin and then Ozanami qualifying for pole.
Yep, everyone, I'm trying to find someone on hot lap. Alduro went 5th, we saw that at the end of his lap. I think Aaron might be on a lap. Let's try to get some split times up. 27.4, that's a fairly competitive first sector. So right on board with him. Little bit wide there as he comes out of left field. Crosses the old start-finish straight then into Cops. Is he going to be flat? It sound like a little bit of a lift there. Holds it in 7th gear, interestingly.
That corner is interesting. A lot of people hold it onto 7, and as you go through Magnus and Beckett, it's very, very clean. No dramas.
Yeah, it's interesting because he seems to be using a gear lower than what everyone else has been doing. So that's interesting. I'm not quite sure if that's just his style or if he's just a little bit slower.
Some people tend to go flat out through it in 7th because they feel that
oh, okay, that was. I thought he was going to get caught up in the traffic there, but I think he was coming into the pits anyway, so it's no harm done in the end. And I believe Ollie was actually going on to a lap, so we'll try get on board with him. So he hugs the curb on the left-hand side through to into turn 3 now. Down to 2nd gear, interestingly. And again for turn 4. And he's sliding, and he's off, yep. That's what happens when you lose too low a gear and apply too much throttle, you will spin. He has got enough time for a lap and a bit though, so Shane has actually left again, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
Yeah, that one is very tricky with no traction. Turn 4, I've seen a lot of people spin. Again, applying too much throttle, again as you said earlier, and we'll get one up, and it just back end just doesn't grip up at the end.
Mini's also on a lap, I think. He's coming into Stowe corner now in the other Mercedes. A little bit too much grass on the inside there. No, he's coming in as well, so we haven't actually caught anyone on a flying lap yet. Milan though is, and in the Sauber, very nice indeed. I know you're a big fan of the Sauber this year, Dougie.
Very nice cut. As he
Across the line he comes. It's going to be a 28.0. I don't think he improves on his position. He's still 8 tenths ahead of Zonda. So Lee is actually I'm really impressed with Lee actually. Having last season come into the league and been right at the back, and he's really improved actually. So yeah, well done to him. He's impressed me, I have to say.
He has improved. That's the whole point of F3 really is develop yourself so you can become quicker and to like challenge yourself, and it's like people are also developing, and then if you do get up to the high promotional status, then you can be able to like challenge for those like positions and higher, especially like into F1. And it's good to see that people are actually developing, doing quicker and quicker every single like race basis, and it's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's
of
good
course.
for going up.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to tweak the sound a little bit here, so just bear with me a moment. Yeah, there we go. All sorted.
Yeah, I think. Is there anyone else?
So we've got Milan, Zonda, and Zegalago out. Actually, Zegalago's just come in. Milan is on an in lap, I believe. Bendel's just come out of the pit, so he'll be going on to his last run. I think Ollie started another lap, although he is down on his first sector, so I'm not quite sure if he's going for one or not. Very wide through Maggots and Beckett's though. He'll be lucky if he can recover any time out of that. Yeah, he's 2 seconds down. There's no way he'll be going. That's our hot lap anyway. Not hot lap even. So let's see what Miles is doing. He last season crashed out spectacular at Copse Corner, and I'm pretty sure the season before he crashed out right here at turn 1. So it's not the best of tracks for him really, especially with his controller settings. He's a rather interesting one in the way he uses his his pad, that's for sure.
Although, new game, see how he fares. Past history, just tries to forget about that and try and focus on what you can do now. As he goes really wide, in turn 6, 7 through left field and Brooklyn's.
Yep, so up through the old start-finish complex now. Coming to Cops, is he going to be flat? Little downshift, maybe a little lift, he seemed to be quite tight. But
the lift on entry downshifted and
very twitchy through Maggots and Beckett's. It's done quite well there. Not quite sure who that is. Very deep into Stowe corner as well. Where's this going to put him then?
I would say just in top 10 at the moment, but it's going really wide. So he exits the back corner.
Zonda has retired. Miles goes 10th. You did say it's just inside the top 10, and he couldn't have got more just. Oh my goodness, 2 thousandths of a second separate himself and Zonda. This is quite astonishing, really.
That is very, very close, but you could have gotten a lot quicker than that, but they messed up on the last two corners bridge and didn't really work out for him.
Yep, the gap still 1.5 tenths. Ollie is out. He does have enough time. Mammal Hamilton is coming into the final complex of corners now. He is on his outlap, so he will be pushing this time round. Everyone out except for Bendel, who won't make it out of the pits now. Kingdom Martin has joined us, so he will join for the race. So we do have 15 drivers. Shane won't be racing, his internet connection is too poor. And he has taken the mature decision to not even try to race with the lack of connection at the moment. But in the meantime, it is Mammal Hamilton versus Ozone Ollie for pole at the moment. Although Seb as well, coming out of the first set of corners as well. So it's not necessarily a 2-horse race here for pole. Very wide through Brooklands though, into left field now. Nice and wide line. Can he cut it back onto a late apex? He can. Lovely shot there. Watching the Ferrari go through the old start finish complex now. Is he flat through Cops? No, again, another downshift. That may be an invalidation. Yep, it was an invalidation, so he is gone. That is Mammal Hamilton out of qualifying. Where is Seb?
Aldo puts it to P3. Seb did the fastest first sector of anybody. 27.0.
See what his second sector split is. We're not actually going to get it because he hasn't actually set a lap. But no, he has set a lap, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Hamilton won't make it round for a second try either. Mini has retired. 7th, not good for him. He's obviously mucked up his final run. Now Seb into the final complex of corners. Can he hook it up? Tentative on the throttle. The car slides away from you. And across the line he comes, and it is pole for VG Seb. A 26.2 smashes the current, the provisional pole time. Ollie is on a run though. A 27.3 in the first sector. Not quite sure how that compares to Seb.
26.9, so a tenth fast, a couple tenths faster even. Faster than Seb at the moment, so he is on a fast lap.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to abort that from the stream because we do have somebody that shouldn't be in here, and I can't remember who it was, and I can't even check on the race director.
.35.8. He is 3/10 down on Seb in the middle sector, so
it's all got to be made up in this final sector. Is it going to be good enough? Hamilton retires as we expected. Quite cautious again through that final complex corner. I don't think it's going to be enough. He's got to get a 26.2 and he's not going to get it. It's a 26.4 and it is VG Seb that takes pole here for the first F3 race of season 10. And okay.
Yeah, impressive time from VG Seb, 26.2. That's a very, very good time, very respected time. Stick it on pole position. from Ozan Oli from a 10th and a half down, and Manuel Hamilton completing the top 3 in the grid. So it's set to be a very interesting race there. Albeit, I feel Manuel Hamilton could have gone faster, despite invalidating.
Yeah, Francis didn't set a lap. I didn't see that. I wonder, was that just out of invalidations? No. So Francis just not setting a lap, whether he couldn't hook it. Actually, did he? He didn't retire particularly early on, I don't think.
I think he's just doing it tactically for the race. I feel like he feels that the soft tires will just die out. But that's another feeling that I've had, well, for a bit, that the soft tires won't last for a while, as they have the 2-minute rule. Where
yeah,
they
hopefully
cannot
we'll
press X 2 minutes
add here.
As Aldero breaks the 2-minute rule.
And already, first one of the season, first 10-second penalty or reprimand will go to Alduro. So unfortunately for him, he and unfortunately it means that some of the other guys may not be able to get their strategies together.
That could affect things, but we'll see. As they go on to their formation, that usually starts to lead them away.
Burning up them tyres, my goodness.
Yes. Could play effect in the start, seeing if Ozan can be able to jump through into turn 1.
Yeah, that is one thing that has hugely impacted, well not impacted, sorry, that's changed in this game is the formation lap and the setup of the car on the formation lap, because there is so much more you have to do now. Like brake temperatures and tyre temperatures are actually effective now. So whereas last year it didn't really have an effect, I don't think it did have an effect at all. You could literally run onto the grass and you still could get a very good start, whereas now it is completely different. Brake temperatures are a massive change, and the thing is as well with this track as well is that you go through the first 2 corners without braking, so by the time you get to turn 3, the first braking point, your brakes are going to be cold regardless if you've heated them up on the formation lap. So it is going to be really tricky into turn 1. Hopefully we don't get too many casualties from it, and hopefully everyone gets through fairly cleanly. But yeah, there is that to watch out for.
There is that, and also because of turn 3 it's going to be a very huge cluster between the top 15 and top 15 drivers that's there, and it's just going to be very interesting to see how they're going to play it in terms of the start. Obviously the start is very crucial here on here, but it's not the end of the world if you do have a bad start, because overtaking opportunities are quite open here, so it's very good to be able to get past anyone if you do have a... It's not over until the first lap.
So then they're coming round into the final corner. I'm not quite sure how Alduro's got ahead of Seb. But yep, all coming round now. Ghosting is on for F3. It won't be on for F1 though, as far as I'm aware. Unfortunately, our random has decided that he's going to stick it out, and even if he wants to race next week, he will not be allowed because he will be banned. So yeah, unfortunately for him, he's ruined his own chances. But now on to the starting lights. 5 red lights then. Seb on pole, Ollie in second, and away they go. I'm not quite sure what happened there with the desync. We've got cars all over the place as they come into turn 1 then. Are they going to keep it clean? We've got Manuel Hamilton very wide. We've got another Ferrari in the background very wide as well. Red Bull tailing the pack. We've got Renault off here in the foreground. That's Kingham JJ very early on. And I think everyone has survived pretty much as they come through turns 5 now. It is Seb from Ollie, from Hamilton, from Alduro, from Lee, who's jumped past Aaron in the first couple of corners. Milan up to 7th as well. Aaron getting back past Lee. As they come through Luffield now. Miles is up to 10th as well. Mini all the way down to 9th. Who's on the hards there? I saw someone on the hards and Mini's been hit! And he's managed to recover it somehow. We've got Miles on the hard tyres. cars all over the place at the moment. Mini trying to pick his way back through the field. He's up the inside of Bendel. Has he got wing damage? I think he's managed to get through unscathed. That was a hairy moment for the Mercedes driver though.
Very, very clean, but very cautious starts from everybody. Like, I felt like people could have been a bit more.
Oh, lose out! Forcing you off! Flying into the barrier goes Miles, and once again, it has just not been his track. One lap, not even completed.
Well. Francis has also been hit as well. Unless he stopped running. And
yeah, Francis has left the session. I'm not quite sure why. He's still got a front wing by the looks of it.
I'm not so sure what happened there. But
Kingdom Martin's got a 5-second stop go. He's got a front wing damage. And by the looks of it, everyone else seems to have got away without damage. Interestingly.
I was about to say it was a very clean start until coming up to the Magnus and Beckett section where Miles went flying into the background. But yeah, Seb now leads by 4/10. Looks like Ozan has a better run coming through the Wellington Straight.
Oh, Francis has rejoined, so that's good to see. Probably his internet just dropped out. It does have quite a poor connection, I realised before. Anyway, so going off of the start, top 4 are the same. Aaron up from 8th to 5th, Lee down from 5th to 6th, Zonda up from 12th to 7th, Milan down to Bendel has managed to stay the same in all of that mid-pack movement. Mini also trying to make movements. He's down 2 positions though. Is that down 6? It is from Kingham. JJ lost it through turn 2, so he's lost out big time early on. Francis actually up 1 place, has disconnected, rejoined the session, still in his Renault, I believe. We've got Zigalego behind him, along with Kingdom Martin, who is now on the mediums. That's an interesting call. Could have gone on the hards to the end, but he's chosen the medium tyres, and he'll be preying on a safety car, you would have thought.
I would have thought, but still a long way to go, and it's only lap 2 and everything's gone all crazy at the background and between 10th and backwards. But the top 4 relatively the same, and it looks like Manuel Hamilton has got better pace at this early stage. He's trying to catch Ozan Oli for second place.
Seb sets the fastest lap. He is beginning to eke out a gap between himself and Ollie, but DRS is enabled this lap, so we'll see how close he can get into Brooklyn this time round. DRS, of course, down the Wellington Straight. And he is he's closed up a little bit here in this little section of corners. Right on board with Ollie. Gets the DRS now. I was about to look backwards, but unfortunately Codemasters have removed that feature from this game, which really annoys me. But we can't see the DRS anymore. But he is a lot closer here, almost within a car's length. And he has closed up to the back of Seb here. Seb has struggled here during practice races. And he's struggling again here by the looks of it. Ollie right on his tail. Is he going to suffer with understeer here though? Yes, he is. And he's going to allow Hamilton to close up now. Awful broadcast cam. There we go. Both McLarens inside the top 5. Zonda is being fought for position by our random, and he is going to be tumbling down the order. Lee has actually taken a couple of positions off his previous laps standing. He is going to have a look at Zonda though. Coming into Stowe, he lines him up down the inside, late on the brakes. I think Zonda may have backed out. No, he's going to try and hang it around the outside, and Zonda's done it. He's kept the position for now. Into the left-hander then. And he's got a little bit deep here. Through club now. Can Lee get him on the cutback? It's so close. But Zonda fends him off for now. Hamilton already has a 3-second time pen. And Alduro is beginning to slip into the clutches of the McLaren of Aaron. And oh my goodness, that was close as we cut to them there. Alduro sliding all over the place. Apparently he's using medium traction, but up the inside goes Aaron into turn 4. Does he have the traction now? He's got the inside for turn 5. Who has DRS? That's the question. It is Aaron, so he'll probably pull away now. Streaking down the Wellington Straight into Brooklands. And I believe... No, he's not in front. Hanging around the outside is Alduro. Can he get it back up the inside of Luffield? He can. Can he hold it now as he come past the old start finish complex? Still side by side they go. The Toro Rosso and McLaren fighting for this P4. Alduro is not giving up. He's up the inside into Cops. And Aaron turns in. I think he's... clipped the rear end of the Toro Rosso. They're still side by side into Maggots and Beckett's now, and I think Aaron has finally backed out. Oh my goodness, they were side by side for quite a few corners there.
They were there. They were doing that for 2/3 of the lap, side by side. No one was giving an inch coming up for that, but fantastic driving. Andorra still holds on to that P4, but again, DRS for Aaron coming back up to the hanging straight into
round the outside of Stowe. Surely not. And I tell you what, he's still there. Is he close enough to make a move? He is. Up into the inside. I don't know. He's trying to sweep around the outside, and I think he's covered it off just for now. A defensive masterclass at the moment from the Toro Rosso driver in front, but he's still under pressure from Aaron. No, surely not into turn one. Oh, I thought he'd done it around the outside there for a second. He's gone deep though, and that may affect his line. And here comes our random as well, and he's taken out Alduro, so that's not very good at all. So having claimed he's a clean driver, goes and takes out 4th place and profits from that, so he won't be classified. Don't worry, Alduro, you are still technically P5. Francis has no, he's back in the session, so I'm not quite sure why it's telling me he's on an outlap. Mini still struggling, although having said that, he's about to go past Lee. Full P10 around the outside of Brooklyn's. No way. Has he got the grip? Yes, he has. The Mercedes round the outside of Brooklands, up the inside of Luffield, and he will be onto the back of the Renault of VSR Francis now. A good move there from Mini, showing his experience there. And Lee is tumbling down the order. He's really suffering at the moment. Not quite sure if he's got wing damage or what, but he is suffering.
Yeah, you can't really see with the wing damage now this year because of the halo, but it looks alright for now. Mini.
Well, yeah, the camera angle I've actually got, I think it's hopefully shows enough of the wing, because I can actually see the end plates from this camera angle, so hopefully it's good enough. But Ollie is challenging Seb, still within 0.3 of a second. Oh my goodness, still hasn't got close. There's fights going on slightly further down. That is Lee and Ben. Where is Bendel gone? No, he's around the outside, that's where. And he's just been passed by Kingham JJ, 3 of them fighting for P11. Oh, and Bendel very nearly goes into the back of the Renault. They're basically in a conga at the moment, these 3, although Bendel's just dropped off there a little bit. Zagalego really suffering.
Yeah, the right finding the cork in the bottle in that situation. And KMJJ is now all over the back of him, so he could make a move into turn 3. See?
Francis gets past Zonda, we missed that one. And Zonda having a little look back up the inside. He's got up the inside for 5, has he? No, not quite. This is all helping Mini behind, who has got DRS. Will he be close enough, I wonder, Mini? Zonda up the inside then of Seb. Seb locks up. Sorry, Francis locks up, but he keeps the position for now. Zonda trying to look for the switchback. Mini's right there as well. He's got to be careful here, Zonda. He could lose the position whilst going for one, and he has. Mini, a tremendous piece of driving there, but has he got the position yet? I don't think he has. Zonda still edges in front as they come through up into Cops now. Mini still holds the inside, but he backs out rather sensibly. But Zonda runs wide, and he may have picked up a warning there.
It was really wide. Mini got a really good run into Cops, but had nowhere else to go with it.
He's going to have DRS as well.
Oh,
and Zonda's gone wide onto the grass, coming out of Chapel, and he's all over the place. Zonda spun. Can he keep it out of the wall? He can. And unfortunately for Zonda, that is pretty much game over for any points without a safety car being issued. And it's both the Red Bulls down at the back.
Milan gets past Alduro. Gets the position back from
Alduro's suffering now. He's fighting for P4, and that has really knocked him off, because he was right with Aaron. He was fighting Aaron. He probably wasn't as quick, but he was with him, and now he's 3 seconds adrift. So unfortunately our oh, and he's left the session, so after all that he's disconnected, but he won't be rejoining, that's for sure. The league, that is, anyway. Whether he rejoins the session or not is unfortunately beyond my power. Back to the leaders then. And it's still less than 0.3 between the top 2. It's a second between the top 3. These guys are not giving each other an inch. And you have to say one little mistake, and Manuel Hamilton got a much better exit there. And Ozone Ollie maybe having to just check his mirrors now. It's been Seb that's doing the mirror checking for the last few laps, but it's not this time.
And then it's just like hanging on to DRS. Nothing the best as Manuel Hamilton picks up another penalty.
Yeah, he's really slow through this section. Maggots and Beckett's, he's really suffering. Understeers out towards the edge of Chapel. Ollie had a poor run as well, and I think this has affected Ollie worse because he's got DRS from Manuel Hamilton. Sorry, has DRS on Ollie, so it's really not helped him there. Aaron still continues to drop off 7 seconds now. We are beginning to get into that window of pit stops as well. We've got VSR Francis round the outside of Alduro. No way he's going to make this stick, and he has. A fantastic move. He's on the medium tyres. Just double check that. Yep, he is on the medium
Yep.
tyres. Oh, and up the
Alduro
inside,
tries to fight.
lunges Alduro. Try watch this from Milan's perspective. Oh, Milan spun! And this is going to allow Mini now back up into P8. Oh, Milan, he just got caught in the wrong place, wrong time. I'm not quite sure if he just spun it up himself. I wasn't really able to see.
Definitely was contact between him and Alduro.
Big lock up from Seb. Sorry, Francis, I keep saying Seb.
Yeah, it looks like Alduro's tyres are dying because he's been losing a lot of time. I think he needs to pit at some point, I think this lap, just to save his time in the race. Mini's now starting to close the gap, it's now 7/10.
Oh, Milan's off again. Yellow's in sector 1. That was probably his rear tyres that have caused that. Unfortunately for him, we've got Lee in the pits. No, we haven't. Why is it telling me he's on hard tyres then? Unless we have a visual glitch again. Oh my goodness, he's all over the place. I don't know where he's going and he's just driven into a wall. Wow. That is very professional of you, Lee. Expected better. But there we go, I guess. Milan very tentatively. He's only just got through turn 5. Oh my goodness, he really is suffering. And what has happened at the front? Ozone Ollie has dropped right off of Seb.
Really has. His tyres are starting to die as well as he comes into
Dives into the pits, does the Mercedes driver. Seb negotiates the lapped car. Where is Aaron? He's also in the pit lane. Where is Francis? He stays out. So that's interesting. So one McLaren comes in, one stays out. That's probably the best thing for them. Francis will go on to chase Seb, although the gap is pretty large. Let's just look at the gap to leader. That's what I wanted to see. Lee has retired. So the gap to Francis is 11 seconds. I should have looked at the gap really before the pit stops. Where is Ollie going to come out? Bendel is going to be in front of him, although Ollie's going to have quite a large gap. Alduro in for the mediums as well. Let's just have a little look what tyres we're on. Mediums for everyone then, apart from those that haven't stopped, of course. Kingdom JJ also onto the mediums. Who didn't come into the pits? Kingdom Martin, who is quite a long way behind. I don't think he'll get past anyone. Actually, he might jump Alduro. He's got the overspeed. Alduro's pit exit now. Actually, no, he's probably too far behind. Yep, just too far behind, unfortunately, for Kingdom Martin, even after pit stops. So the gap currently to Bendel, Ollie to Seb is 30 seconds. So that is a pit stop's worth of time. 30 seconds. Let's keep an eye on that delta. Zegalego is actually holding Ollie up. So someone that's been at the back all race is actually now playing a huge part in battle for the lead. And oh my goodness, the amount of physical track that Ollie has just gained on Zegalego, and he's going to get past with ease. Oh my goodness, the amount of time he gained through Maggots and Beckett's was ridiculous. Mini and Seb are in.
Pushing that crazy easy as Seb does come in.
Bendel stays out. That's interesting. Bendel is now on 11 lap old softs. It's quite astonishing, really. Francis continues on. He's on the medium tyres.
Bendel's known for like going ridiculously long on strategy and keeping on those tyres for as long as possible.
So I thought Seb just clipped the wall. Where is Ollie? Oh, he's too far behind. He's going to he's going to close that gap down from what was over a second to under a second.
Yep, Ollie did pick up a penalty though. Seb, I haven't seen pick up any penalties so far, so at the moment he's just controlling the race, but it is a very close one.
Big loser out of all this though is Manuel Hamilton. He is well off now. He's 3.5 seconds off of Ollie. He was right with them. So unfortunately for him, he has not had a good pit stop, or he's just had a poor in lap or out lap. So unfortunately for him, he's got a lot to do.
First getting past Zagallo.
Yeah, unfortunately, Codemasters have still given us the visual glitch. So although Mini is being shown as softs, as you see, the graphic on the left-hand side is showing mediums, which is what he's actually on because he's already stopped. Or 0 laps. So just to confirm that, 1 stop for all apart from the top 3 and Zigalego. So yep, that's just to confirm that. Position changes. Obviously Francis hasn't stopped yet, Bendel hasn't stopped yet, and Zegalego hasn't stopped yet, so everyone pretty much down because of those guys at the moment. Oh, we've got
does
Kingham
get-
JJ. He's defending from Alduro. I say defending, he's making it very easy for him, and he sweeps around the outside, and Alduro goes up into P10. Now, where are the guys that are stopping? Oh, Ollie's past Seb! Ollie's got past Seb into turn 3, round the outside, into turn 4. We've completely missed that. And no way has he got the traction around the outside. They squeeze each other now. Coming down into Brooklands, down the Wellington Straight. And it's just edged in front. Ollie, is Seb going to have a dive up the inside? He is! He so nearly make contact. And I think these two have just about made it through without clipping one another. And Ollie is going to take the lead of the race after losing that time earlier on in the stint. He's regained it and got back past the McLaren, but the McLaren fighting back. He looks to the inside of Cop's corner, backs out of it though, thinks better of it, and this is all helping Hamilton behind. He has lost a lot of time, 3 seconds in fact.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic move from Ollie, just to get past Seb, so it's crucial for the race. Now, all he has to do is now just to maintain that gap.
Here comes Seb.
As you've seen before.
Ollie trying to squeeze him to the inside, it's not worked though, and Seb's going to go flying past. He's obviously got a bit more deployable energy, and he will take back that theoretical P1, although for the moment it is P2, as Francis continues to soldier on those medium tyres. Say soldier on though, he's putting in some pretty decent lap times. Everyone else pretty much spread out. Alduro and Kingham JJ going at it though, into Stowe corner. Alduro's done it once, he's done it twice, around the outside of Kingham JJ. Kingdom Martin's actually defending from Bendel, goes very defensive very early into Vale. Bendel closes the gap enormously. Coming out of club corner then, can he engineer a move here? Trying to keep my eyes on everyone. We've got Ollie as well, very close to Seb, looks to the inside of Brooklands, can't make it stick though. We jump back to Bendel. He's going to have a look up the inside of 3 years. Kingdom Martin too far in front though. And that battle seems to have just died down for a little bit. Kingham JJ and Alduro again very close. Kingham JJ picked up a 3-second time penalty actually after that.
Yeah, Alduro. It's been very defensive and very aggressive in his moves, but it's been very, very clean at the same time. It's very impressive.
Minnie's got a nice little pocket of space, doesn't he?
Yes, yes.
Just in the system.
Pretty much on his own at the moment, but doing bits. He improved a lot since after his poor start. But yeah, it's pretty much been like that.
Ollie's dropped off the back of Seb here. He's out of DRS range.
Somebody's harvesting energy for that, and I feel like he might for sure.
Or Seb is just going fastest. So that's obviously why Ollie's struggling to keep with him. He's beginning to push now. Francis at the moment, where will he come out? It's about 30 seconds for a pit stop, so he will come out in front of Minnie. That's interesting.
On fresh tyres too.
Yeah, on softs as well, so it won't just be fresh tyres, it will be fresh soft tyres, so the fastest tyre available.
Just needs to do about 4 laps more on these tyres, and then you can be able to change it onto the soft tyre, and then probably try and push P4.
Oh, Bendel round the outside of turn 2. Nope, can't make it stick up the inside of 3 on Kingdom Martin. We've seen this before though from Bendel. He's a very passive aggressive driver. He will not go for a move unless it is 100% guaranteed that he's going to get through without contact or anything going wrong. As you see now that Brooklands goes to the outside. He could have gone up the inside but thinks better of it. No ways he can try around the outside of Luffield. That's not going to work, and he really does have some potential, but he just doesn't quite go for those moves that he could make. And he's stuck behind Kingdom Martin because of it. He's clearly faster because he's stuck on his gearbox. But
I think the Kingdom Martin stake, he needs to mini picks a penalty. Kingdom Martin stake, he needs to like try and get up to the DRS zone through Lancaster and then try and push it. But as you say, he's very conservative when he's making his overtaking.
Ollie has closed that gap back down by 7 tenths.
Yep. Responds to that pass that from Seb did in the lap previous.
Yep, definitely.
It's going to be very, very close.
Francis is keeping that gap though, interestingly. That gap has been at 17 seconds for a long time, so he's not doing a bad job on those 14 lap old mediums. And he won't be in just yet either. It'll be a couple more laps at least.
I feel like he could be able to push.
Oh, Kingdom Martin, we've missed the move! We've actually managed to miss the move between Bendel and Kingdom Martin. After all of that talk, Bendel has slipped past, and Kingdom Martin dives up the inside into 3. Thinks better of it though, looks up the inside of 4, and he just about gets it. Much more aggressive, as you can see, than Bendel. A little bit of contact, nothing really wrong though. They're side by side now. You can see there Bendel's front left. That's a poor camera angle. This is a better one. Bendel again backs out. Doesn't want to hang around the outside. And for the moment, he is behind yet again. Although he's back up the inside and he spun him. Kingdom Martin's going to keep going into the wall. Not quite sure why he was turning right. And he is pretty much gone. And there you go. Retires from the session. I wonder if we'll just get a cheeky safety car or maybe even a VSC. Will help. Oh, that's quite a dangerous position actually.
That would help Francis.
It would massively help him, wouldn't it? It would actually put him into P1. Kingdom Martin's car has actually just driven itself around in a circle, so maybe we won't get a safety car after all, unfortunately.
But now 16.3 seconds. Gap has come down, so Seb is faster. Obviously on the pressure tyres.
Yeah, just beginning to lose their grip maybe now, the mediums on the Renault. Ollie still looking to attack the McLaren though. Still stuck behind him. Looking to go deep and then cut back late. Trying to get the overspeed as they come up to Cops now. It's the only you can actually engineer a move at this corner now because of the overspeed you can get. Little lift there, as you can see. Not quite sure if he downshifted or not there. Wasn't riding on board soon enough. But through Maggotts and Beckett, you can see the time he's gaining in the slipstream. Even with the understeer, he's still holding the ground, and he just runs wide coming through Chapel, and that will really affect this run down the hanger straight now into Stowe. And a 5-second penalty for VSR Francis. That is a huge game changer. Because he would have been 13 seconds behind. If he caught a second a lap, he would have been there or thereabouts. But these two fighting as well would have helped him massively. But that is pretty much knocked off any chances of getting any podium. Mini as well dropping off of FTRL Aaron. That's not good for him.
So where theoretical lead. Well, actual lead, so I say.
Yeah.
It's going to be a race to the actual finish.
So Mini actually being caught by Alduro, struggling in these. Yeah, he's really struggling. Can't get the power down. Francis has come out ahead of him, and by quite a margin as well. So not quite sure what happened there. But Francis is now going to be the fastest guy on track. He's got to pick off Aaron first. He's just over a second behind. But we'll switch back to the leaders for now. It is still being contested between the McLaren and the Mercedes of Ollie and Seb.
Seb has been holding, even though it's just been like around the second gap, he still has the pace to be able to stretch it out just to keep Ollie at bay. And I think that is Seb's saving grace at the moment, is his straight line speed.
He's got much more deployable energy as well if you just look on the steering wheel there. Here comes Ollie though. Not quite close enough for a move in his book anyway. He's going to start getting a little bit more desperate as the laps tumble down. But for now he's keeping a level head, and he's keeping within DRS range, which is crucial as well. Here is... Oh, Francis already dispatched Aaron. So that was quick.
Very quick. Of course, despite the 5-second penalty, he could probably get Manuel Hamilton when we get to the end of it. But
yeah, he's got 4 seconds to gain. Hamilton's struggling. And yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if he completely blasted past Hamilton as well.
I've seen Francis pick up a couple of penalties, including the 5-second stop go, but Manuel Hamilton has picked up a lot of penalties as well. So
yeah, early on in the race as well, I noticed a lot of penalties. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Gap's already came down 7/10 in that first sector, so yeah, he is catching. They're crazy on those fresh tyres.
Francis 3.0 now as the gap just keeps coming down.
So much more confident through Magnus and Bacchus than Manuel Hamilton ever is. Wide did Manuel Hamilton in the exit chapel.
Look at the time he's gaining. And Mini's actually very close to the back of Alduro here as well as they come through Maggots and Beckett's. Just riding ball with these two.
In fact, Alduro I think got past Mini.
Yeah, not quite sure where, but yeah, Mini really suffering. He's over driving the car at the moment, it looks like. This is close, surely into turn 3. No, he covers the inside, it does Seb. Can he get the cut back now into 4? Ollie is all over the back of him, there's a shocking camera angle. Seb holds the lead for now.
DRS will be vital coming up to this corner with Wellington Straight.
Holds it in 7th gear, interestingly, can he hang it around the outside? Ollie's trying to do it, and he's not going to get it done. He's going to go deep and try for the cutback again. Keep an eye on Francis as well. He is catching these guys rapidly.
Francis is absolutely flying. It's now 1.5 seconds to get between him and Hamilton. And Seb and Nolly so close together. Tracking Magnus and Beckett's. The chapel, see how Seb can handle it through the exit. And a good exit.
Just not close enough again. Deployable energy is on Seb's side. As you can see that the blue bar on the steering wheel indicates the amount of deployable energy they have. The white bar indicates the amount of deployable energy they have on that particular lap. But having said that, Ollie is still very much there and taking the fight to the McLaren. They seem much quicker through this first section. He's using that ERS to get close up into turn 2 and turn 3 now. Defends the inside. No, he doesn't. Down the inside goes Ollie. And he's backed out of that one. I have to say, it looked like he backed out. Didn't really stick up the inside. He moved to the inside and then seemed to just... I don't know, he really didn't want the move in the end.
It was interesting enough. Meanwhile, Francis ejected.
Oh, and he gets a huge power slide out of turn 4. Manuel Hamilton's trying to defend. I think it's going to be a little bit of a... Not...
That's cool, this goes. Francis around the outside.
He's got the grip and he may have picked up a warning there, but Hamilton is never going to be able to defend. Oh my goodness.
P3. It's a P3 he goes, but...
Manuel Hamilton's still trying to come back at him up the inside of Copse. And that is the amount of grip that Francis has, although maybe might have picked up a warning there. But he is through into P3, and if he pulls 5 seconds and whatever penalties he has over Manuel Hamilton, he will get a podium position. So, yeah, maybe not all gone too quickly. He's got 7 laps to catch, effectively 7 seconds to the race leader. Here comes Ollie, though, on the inside! Steps sideways, and he keeps it somehow! Into Stowe corner, Ollie makes contact with Seb, who's now defending the inside of Vale. Round the outside goes Ollie, up into Club corner, and it's Seb that has the lead once again. And these two have been going at it lap after lap. Really good stuff from these two. And again they're fighting into turn 1 this time. Ollie's shown to the outside. Francis meanwhile is catching all the time up the inside of turn 3. Seb gives him space. Ollie doesn't quite go for the move, doesn't go for the switchback either, making life easy for Seb through turn 4. Nice and smooth on the power though, and that's where he's gaining on Seb at the moment. Down the Wellington straight, then short run into Brooklands. Can he make it work? Around the outside once again. We've seen it tried and failed. He's actually in front as they approach the corner, but once again, the speed he's able to take is much less. He's up the inside of Luffield though. This could be the move for the lead. He's squeezing and squeezing. The McLaren's holding on, but he can't quite hold on enough. And Ollie is through for now. The McLaren's going back though, up the inside. Into Copse corner. He's through once again. Ollie. Oh my goodness. God knows what's going on inside his head right now. He must be so frustrated with himself, just not being able to hold on, using all that ERS and then having to recharge the battery throughout the lap, just watching Seb get back past. These two have had some brilliant battles today, and it's still ongoing as they come into Stowe. Ollie comes back on the attack, up the inside. Can the McLaren hold it from the outside? He can. Oh my goodness, unbelievable stuff. Ollie thinks better of the move up the inside into Vale. You're not going to take a breather because this is intense.
Incredible. Intense racing between Seb and Ollie. Absolutely going no quarter given through the entire lap. And they have to do it for another 5 more times. That's going to be incredible. And PSF Francis is only 4.8 seconds off the lead. So if he can.
Oh, Ollie's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That could be huge.
I've not seen Seb pick up any penalties, to be fair to him. To be honest. Seb's been absolutely clean throughout, I feel. As they drive through Brooklands.
No drama this time, that's for sure.
No drama.
As they begin the final stages of the race now. 5 laps to go.
I feel that Ollie will be harvesting as much as he can so he can push in those final 5 laps. I feel Seb will be doing the same thing, you'd imagine.
Fuel management as well will come into play now. Milan gets past Zegalego for 11th place further down the field, but we are going to stick with this battle. Ollie just unable to keep tight through that section, and it does cost him a 10th or 2, and it really is affecting him, but he's still there down the hanger straight. Can he go up the inside of Stowe? He is there, but once again the overspeed from Seb. Oh, where's Seb going? Having said that, he's gone very wide. Don't know if he picked up a warning or not.
Yeah, he picked a wide line, going to hanger straight, kind of compromised his corner through Stowe. Does go through into lap 22. Here we go.
Not long remaining. That Mini is dropping off of Aldura. He really hasn't. He had a decent first lap in qualifying, but he was just unable to really get the pace going. It looks like he may even finish P8 after Kingham JJ gets close, if he gets close, that is. Zonda picks up a 3-second time penalty. Might affect him. Zegalego might get the final position. He's got back past Milan, actually. So that's happening. Manuel Hamilton has stayed with Francis and is getting towed up onto the back of Ollie. Now this is interesting. Francis, unfortunately, I think his tyres have just died off, or he's just low on fuel because he's not catching at the rate he was, and considering these guys in front are fighting as well, you would have expected him to be right on their tails by now.
Yeah, but maybe the soft tyres are just going up as quick as we all thought they would be, but I think after he's only been on these tyres for like 6 laps now actually. So I think they're starting to see the best, past best of their lives right now. The medium's still starting to become the faster tyre.
Yeah, you can see there as well the different lines that Seb and Ollie are taking. Ollie's taking a much shallower line, that's affecting his run through Chapel, whereas Seb's taking a much deeper line, which means he gets a lot better run out of the corner, which is keeping him in front at the moment. This is the decisive line that is keeping him in the lead.
It's a battle for P3 now. Francis's tyres is now starting to show past their best, and Manuel Hamilton is catching.
Didn't see this 5 laps ago, that's for sure.
Oh no, I didn't.
And Francis has that 5-second stop go as well, so it is not over yet. Ollie up the inside into turn 4. Oh, is there contact? Oh my goodness, they get away with it. Little tiny tap on the rear end for Seb, and he goes defensive into Brooklands already as they come down the Wellington straight. Another time. Is it going to be a case of Ollie swooping around the outside once again? Yes, it is. Can he hold it up the inside of Luffield? Yes, he can. And the McLaren again holding around the outside. He's probably going to have the better traction under the corner as well. Can Ollie defend? This is the question now. Oh, and they touch coming through the outer Luffield. And again he gets him up the inside of Cobbs, but he's fighting back. Oh, where's the McLaren gone? There he is up the inside still. And Ollie has finally kept it in front. I'm going the wrong way. Oh my goodness. And Ollie now is going to have to try and harvest as much ERS as he can coming onto the straight. And Seb's had a moment and he's lost it. That could be pivotal. A huge moment. And Ollie will be... his heart will be racing right now, I can only imagine. Seb has finally made a mistake, and could that be costly? Towards the final 3 laps of the race, Francis and Hamilton going at it, wheel to wheel, into club corner. Round the outside goes Francis. And he may have just kept it. Manuel Hamilton is inside of the Renault's gearbox almost. So close to the back of him. Seb is really beginning to feel those mediums now. And he's dropping right off the back of Ollie. And Ollie may have just claimed one of the most epic PSF1 wins we've ever seen, because that was intense. It's not over yet though. And he's had a poor run. He's had a really poor run, in fact. And this is allowing Seb to come back at him. Ollie's not going to go defensive. Seb's not going to go for the move either. He's too far back. Oh my goodness, isn't this...
Penalties might come into play. I said earlier, I think Ollie has about 3 more penalties than Seb. But besides that, it has been epic. And Seb still trying to get back onto Ollie's end.
6th gear through cops. I've not seen that in a long time.
Yeah,
here we go then, Maggots and Beckett's. Can he stay close enough? The understeer, trying to take that deeper line, but he's just unable to. The car forcing itself out wide. Ollie stays in front for now. We're still watching the gap between Hamilton and Francis. The Ferrari still behind the Renault. Looks to the inside. Can he make the move stick? Look, Ollie's gone wide. And where has he gone? Well, Ollie's gone way off track. And Seb's back in front with 2 laps to go. Hamilton's in front as well with Francis. No, he's not. Up the inside of Vale goes Francis. Cuts off the line that Hamilton would have took. Oh, he's lost the back end. He's managed to save it though. This really is.
That. I was an intense battle for the podium. We don't even know who's going to be on the podium yet.
Ollie ran the outside into 3. Surely not. He's going to try and hold it. Seb's there holding the outside of turn 4 now. Ollie's gone deep though. And Seb's back up the inside of 4. Oh my goodness, what a race this is.
What a race. Incredible. VSR Francis still holding on to P3. Emmanuel Hamilton. Seb still holding on to the lead.
Well, he's gone deep. Seb's gone deep. But Ollie just doesn't have the right line to cut back and make it an opportune moment. He's gone deep, but he can cut back if he's clever about it. And he's trying to do that. Seb blocking the inside though. Good racing again from these two. Ollie trying to look to the inside of Cops. He's going to stay behind for now though by the looks of it, as he's defending the inside. Here is Seb. All over the back of him, and they almost touch, going through Megas and Beckers. They're side by side. Surely not. Yeah, he backs out of that one. And he's just able to, he's actually getting the nose of the car turned in a lot quicker now, Ollie. Whether he's got that front end grip compared to Seb or not, I'm not quite sure. 1 1/3 of a lap to go. Ollie, can he make the move into Stowe this time? It's defensive from Seb. Can he sweep round the outside? He's trying. The car just unable to hold on. In fact, has he got him? Oh my goodness, it is close. Up the inside goes Ollie, and they bang wheels.
They push each other.
Oh, what has he caught him? Oh, I thought he'd caught the back of him there, but he managed to slow down in time. Francis only 1 second behind now. This could be a 4-way battle for the win if it gets any closer. Into the final lap. Seb picks up a penalty at last. And oh my goodness, this is getting tight now. Ollie has a 6/10 gap to Seb, who has a 1.2 second gap to Francis, but he's still right there. Emmanuel Hamilton as well could actually win this race if everything goes his way, although it is unlikely at this stage. The gaps have just been stretched that little bit now.
Yeah, I think that people have made too many mistakes in these last laps. I think that everyone's getting ridiculously nervous. It's so tense coming into this last lap.
10 corners to go.
Seb's still holding on to that lead.
Can he close? Can he close the gap enough? He's closing as they come up to Cops' corner. He's going to run wide though as they come through Cops. Ollie does the same thing. Ollie picks up a 3-second time penalty. Seb clearly had the warning in hand. Ollie is not concentrating on his warnings right now. He's just concentrating on keeping the car ahead of his rival behind. Is it going to be enough? One last try for Seb, sorry. Going to be a late lunge up the inside of Stowe. Ollie covers it off, but it's a little bit too deep. Has Seb compromised his line? I think it might be enough for Ollie. Is he going to take the win though, or will Pens play the part? We're going to find out in a moment's time, but it is Ollie who's going to finish in front in what has been an epic race for first. He crosses the line P1, but he finishes P2, and not only by a little bit, but by 11 seconds. That's a huge margin. Emmanuel Hamilton claimed P3, and Francis, I'm not quite sure where he's finished with a gap like that, and he's going to actually tumble down all the way to the back, unfortunately, so we will have to work that out. What a race though. Oh my goodness, I've never experienced an F3 race quite like that one. That was astonishing.
That was tense beyond belief. The amount of overtaking and defensiveness from Seb. Congratulations on that race. That was very impressive from Seb, Ollie, Hamilton, and Francis at the very end, putting a late push to the for the podium.
Oh my goodness,
GG on
what
Seb to
a
get the
race. What a race. I cannot believe it. Francis, unfortunately, is going to fall down to last, so we're going to have to calculate his time. So Francis, don't worry, you won't actually be classified down in 9th place unless you had an extortionate amount of time penalties, which your race time is suggesting. Zonda coming through the final corner will claim the final point unless he has more than 15 seconds of penalties, which he doesn't. Francis's time is actually coming down. I'm not quite sure how that's even... Oh, that's because it's behind Zonda, that's why. Zigalago will come through. Milan's actually finished a lap down, P13. Oh, don't lose it now. Comes across the line, P11 for the debutant. And my, what a race. And I'm going to need a little bit of a break because that was ridiculously intense.
Really close.
Oh my goodness, I cannot quite believe it.
But 4 different people could have won the race at some different point in that time. It was that close, and congratulations to Seb on winning the first race in season 10. What a race it's been. It's only the first race. So
unbelievable. You cannot describe the race we have just seen. Lap after lap after lap. The two of Seb and Ollie went at it. Oh my goodness, I cannot quite believe they managed to keep it clean, but they did. Fantastic racing from those two. And that is your final classification. Ollie picking up 15 seconds worth of time pens. Manuel Hamilton picking up a fair roll, 12 himself. Alduro claimed P5. And now, unfortunately, we're going to have to work out Francis. The 5-second penalty, which will be added on. That was his only penalty he had. Very clean from him. Don't quite think he finished 24 laps down. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not quite sure how that's going to play.
I think he's going to finish P3 because Manuel Hamilton 12 seconds penalties. He only had 1. He finished 3rd, so I think.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So just apply 5 seconds to. Yeah, so that'll be sorted out later on anyway. That's all down to stewards, etc., etc. Francis is claiming he needs P2. I'm not quite sure it will be that because he did have the 5-second stop go. But oh, that is true. He did have 15 seconds. So Francis actually may finish P2 after all that. So anyway, the results will be out later on this evening. They'll be posted by Penny later on in the chats, etc., and of course on the website. But for now, please do this again next week, guys, because that was a pleasure to commentate on, and I'm pretty sure Dougie feels the same way. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll be back for round 2 in Singapore next week. Don't miss it. Hopefully it'll be another absolute cracker.